Hey everybody, who's ready for some tomatoes? I am. Hey gang, happy Thursday, my fellow tomato heads. Thanks for watching. My name's Lauren and this is Lauren's Tomato Awesome Sauce. I'm also known as Mrs. Tomato Head. Mr. Tomato Head doesn't usually, my hair is a disaster today. I actually did it. I showered for you guys. I shower on Thursdays. I went out, but it is like, I don't know where it is where you guys are. We've had rain for days and there's more coming, but we had a break in the rain and actually some sunshine for like maybe 15 minutes to half an hour earlier. And I went out and it's very humid. So whatever nice style I had is completely gone, but who cares? We're talking about tomatoes. I also have very dirty fingernails, but who cares? We're talking tomatoes. So thank you for watching. If it's your first time, I hope you enjoy the episode. We are live. Today is March 15th, 2025. I do this every Thursday and I talk about 10-ish varieties I'm obsessed with that week. And I like to focus on things that, not all of them, but I love to share stories. And I've got a couple good ones today. One in particular that I'm really excited about. But some I know very little information about other than they look really great, sound really great. But others I have a bit of a backstory. I really, really, really find it important to share origin when it's known. It's not always known. And at least on my watch, I want to make sure I get the correct information out. So I hope to make you guys as excited about the backstories of some of these tomatoes as I am. And I'm always learning. I'm a forever learner and I learn something new each week and I hope you guys do too. Before I talk anymore, if I do give away seed prizes at the end of the episode and all you have to do to win is type hashtag tomato anywhere in the comments, anytime, just once. You only need to do it once. Where is it? Hashtag tomato. And let me make sure it's working. Because if you've followed me for a while, you know that hasn't always been the case. Let's make sure. Okay, got to restart it. Oops. No. Okay. Okay, we're good. People are entering. This is just saying who's entered so far. So happy to have you all here. As I talk at all about anything, and especially if you've grown or are growing any tomatoes that I talk about, please feel free to put it in the comments. That's really, really helpful to not just me, but all of us. If I showcase a variety and I'm like, that looks so good, and somebody's like, yeah, it wasn't really my cup of tea, that's helpful to know. Taste is subjective, of course. Jen and I don't agree on a lot of tomatoes. Some we do, but some we don't. So we have different tastes, and that's fine. Maybe you find that your palate is more like Jen's. Maybe you find it more like me. We actually had somebody, and I want to talk about our meetup from last Friday. Susan, who said she her taste buds go more with. Let me get rid of this. With Jen's husband Ben, which was really cool. So you need to take it all with a grain of salt, of course. I want to talk to you first. I want to show you two things. My shirt, I've worn this one before. It's from Inspired Garden Life, of course. Tomato Temptress Extraordinaire. You say tomato, I say ketchup. And Tim and Darylyn from Inspired Garden Life have become group friends of ours. And we don't get any kickbacks from them or anything else, but I love to give them business. Their shirts, they have at least 40 tomato shirts. And they've given a never expiring coupon code. It says TLC for our group, Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. But if you're watching and you're not a member of our group, it's just TLC 15. So go to inspiredgardenlife.com. And I think I saw in my email, and I'm not great about catching up with email, but I feel like it came in just yesterday that tank tops and long sleeve shirts are now in, or they're coming very soon. But I think it said now available. So that's cool. And then a couple weeks ago, I was talking about the sock brand Bombas and how they were offering like a 4-pack of socks with tomato. Only one of them had tomatoes on them. One had lemons. One, I forget what the other ones were. They were garden. I was complaining that $60 is a lot of money to spend when I just want one of the socks, the tomato ones. And then Malachite Jen told me they actually do sell it individually. So here they are. Aren't they cute? I made a bad mistake, though. They're so nice and white. It's the first time I'm wearing them today. And I have these garden clogs that I use going in and out. And I told myself, don't wear these socks in the garden clogs. But I'm like, I'm only going out for a minute. And I kind of forgot, and I did. And now the bottoms they're not too bad. The only thing I don't like about the socks is that when you wear shoes, you can't see the socks. I gave Jen a pair of those really fun and funky hot pink green tomato socks from Happy Socks when we met on Friday. So I want to talk to you about Friday because I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I know if you were able to be there, Jen and I'll express from both of us that we can't thank you enough for making the trip. For some of you, it was not close at all. We had, I think the furthest somebody came was from North Carolina, and then I'm in the north, Syracuse, New York. That's a big span, and some of you made a weekend out of it, which is great. Hershey Park is right there. It was such, I don't even know how to describe it other than magical. We did it last year too, but we were very late in getting the announcement out, so we only had one other person joining us, and our group is a lot bigger now, of course. So we gave people maybe 5 weeks or so notice, and we had a great turnout. And we swapped seedlings. If people had extra seedlings they wanted to give away, what a great place to do it than in a place filled with other tomato heads. Some of us brought seeds and we exchanged seeds, and we just sat around. Jen and I did do a live broadcast. This was last Friday. What was the date on Friday? The 9th, May 9th, I think. So I hope if you weren't able to join us there in person, that you were able to join us live. It was a really fun time. And then after the show was over, we sat around, we talked about tomatoes, of course, and we got to meet each other's families. We got to meet Kim Pierce's little nuggets, little tomato heads in training. So it was really, really special. For those of you that were able to make it, thank you. And obviously, it's impossible. We were in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, which is the halfway mark, like directly halfway, right in between Jen and me. I'm in New Jersey. She's in West Virginia. And it worked out great. We rented the larger pavilion this time. And it worked out so great, as a matter of fact, that we're going to do it again, but this time it's going to be in the fall, and it's going to be a tomato taste test. All right, did I forget to put the graphic up? Nope, it's right here. Here we go. It's going to be a tomato tasting and seed swap. Let me make myself smaller here. We don't need to see me in this one. So it's going to be Friday, September 26th. It will be at the same spot, LaTorte Park in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, from 1 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can bring your tomatoes that you've grown this year if you have some, and crop failure happens, so don't worry. We want you coming regardless. But we have an opportunity to taste each other's tomatoes. This was the idea of the people there, by the way, that were there on Friday. This didn't come from Jen and I, although we had been talking about something. This was like, we love this so much, we need to do this. And it's a great idea. So you bring your tomatoes, and then ideally seed packages of the varieties that you'll be offering tastings from. So if you like a tomato that you taste, you get to go home with the seeds. We're asking for a $5 donation just to cover the cost of the pavilion. And if you're a vendor and you would like to come, we have lots of tables in there, and you'd like to come, you can sell seeds from there. We would love to. This is all about promoting each other, having fun, celebrating the tomato. So we decided to give even more notice for this one. So for those of you that may be really far, you need to take the day off of work or whatever, we really hope you can join us. It's going to be great. So more information will come on that. But I hope we see even more people than we did this past Friday. What else did I have to say? I mean, I have a lot to say, don't get me wrong. But before I get going, my socks, my shirt, the Friday meetup, September tomato tasting seed swap, September 26th. Oh, I know what I wanted to say kind of regarding this. So Rowena from Canada is looking to organize something very similar, it sounds like, up by her in Canada. So I want, for those of you where travel is just impossible, you know, sometimes some of you are, I've heard, planning on coming, and it may be a couple-day trip, and I promise you it will be worth it. But for some of you, it's just impossible. Consider doing one in your area. I know Malachite Jen was talking about something as well out in Nevada. So, you know, all we really had to do is rent. We found a spot. I had to research the spot. We've had this now. This was our second time being there, and it's perfect. The first time we rented the little pavilion. Now we need the big one. We will outgrow this big pavilion. Those of you that were there, you understand what I'm talking about, don't you guys think? But for now, hopefully, this pavilion is large enough. It's a great way to meet everybody. For those of you that brought gifts, Heidi Jory was supposed to join me, but she broke her toe the night before, and she sent us with not only plants to give away, but also she's got a freeze dryer, so she freeze dried all these amazing things. There was this like spicy cabbage that was sublime. It was unbelievable. And of course, the Skittles, I love freeze-dried Skittles, otherwise known as Friedels. She sent just a huge bag with us with freeze-dried snacks that we all quite enjoyed. And but the most important thing is to bring just yourself. I don't want anybody to feel pressure that, oh gosh, I've got to bring tomatoes, especially if you're traveling far. Tomatoes may not travel where you're coming. You know, that's okay. That's not a prerequisite to bring your tomatoes to taste. It would be great if you could, but if you can't, we just want you there. We want to meet you. So, all right, let me get to some comments before I get too far behind. Oh, Sherman, somebody beat you again. Hi, Kathy. I'm talking about the variety that you sent me, very first one today. Nice to see you, Kathy. And Sherman was one of our attendees. Hey, hello, happy Thursday. Hello, Lauren. I guess I need to check in earlier. 2 weeks in a row that I've missed first comment. I'm here now and so glad to be here. Hello, fellow tomato heads. Welcome, Sherman. It was so nice to meet you in person. Hi, Satya. And hi, Leslie. And Annette. Hi, Annette. Happy Tomato Thursday. Planted all the afternoon. Now I'm tired and expecting more tomatoes. Woohoo! Hi, Tanya. Sunny and warm Southeast Michigan. I'm out in my garden, but it's break time for Tomato Talk. How's everyone doing? Well, I'm glad you took a break with us. And here's Rowena. Hi, Rowena. And Erin is here. And Tara Dove is here. Chastity. Hi, Chastity. And good morning, Justin. Glad you could join us. Christina's here. Hi there. And good morning to you too, Deborah. Glad to see you here. Christy Sessions is here. Happy Thursday, Lauren and Tomato Friends. Boy, Christy, you were missed. People were talking about. No, I'm sorry. This is the second time I've done that to you. There's Christy Sessions, and I don't want to say the other Christy name in case she's not here. Sorry. So just talking about a different Christy who lives close by to two other attendees. Nice to see you, Christy Sessions. I don't really confuse you in your real life, but I think there's so many comments that come in that it's hard to, sometimes it's hard to navigate on your own. So glad you're here, Christy. And Mayor from Afar, maybe you'll be a big winner again today, Mayor from Afar. By the way, for those of you that have won prizes, I'm now 2 weeks behind. So for those of you that won 2 weeks ago and last week, I have not sent them out yet. But they're like next up. I'm not making too many commitments right now, trying to be smart, but they are coming. They are coming. And 2 weeks ago, I've got them prepackaged already. So I don't know what the excuse is. I was busy getting ready for Friday a lot. We've had busy weekends. We have another busy weekend coming up. So it will happen, I promise. And I haven't said this in a while, and I know it's getting a little bit late for people to start seeds, but if you ever win a variety from me where you want to plant it now, please feel free to just give me a nudge and say, I'd really like to plant this now. I completely understand that. But, I had been getting a couple months behind. I'm not that way at all anymore, or at the moment, I should say. Hi, blah, blah. Thanks for being here. And Linda's here. Hi, Linda. And Sam is here. Hi, Sam. Brianna. Nice to see you, Brianna. I'm going to be up in Connecticut this weekend, Brianna. That's where you're from, right? Yeah, I'll be up in like the Hartford area for a wedding. One of my best friend from high school is getting married. Hi, Naray. And here's some crazy person named Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head that's saying hi to everybody. Dewana's here. Hi, Dewana. And here's one of our attendees from Friday, Kim. It was so nice to meet you and your family, Kim. And she brought me this sublime Spanish extra virgin olive oil and balsamic. She had heard me talking about it on a show. She had said, I don't realize you guys listen to me that much, but I had it on some fresh sourdough last night and mwah, delicious. Thank you very, very much. And she gave Jen a very nice gift as well. Gifts are not required if you come. We really just want you there. And her two little boys are just the most precious things in the world. You may have seen them on our show on Friday. At least one of them popped in. Hi, Laquita. Nice to see you. And Lisa L. Hello, Lauren, fellow tomato heads. I hope everyone's gardens are doing great. Yes, I hope so too. Put in the comments, how are things so far? I still have not planted out. I may actually start the Tomato Tour Tuesdays next week because I'm getting some things planted. Not all of my micros, my one green stock that I'm devoting to micros, and a lot of those spots are from micros that I'm stabilizing myself that I bred. But some are not. Some I'm growing again to use for more crosses like Tiny Totem, Sweet Louise, Candyberry, Black Patio, and then some other new ones, the Reinhard Craft ones, and a couple other very unique ones. Oh, and one that Ellie from Bunny Hop Seed gave me that's not available yet. I'm not sure when it will be available, but she's sent me the cross, and I'm growing a couple of those plants. She says it is the sweetest micro dwarf she has ever bred. Right now it's called BR549. So really honored that she trusted me with that, and excited to see what comes out. So I might do a short Tuesday garden tour. Rob and I had intended on doing some stuff on Mother's Day, but he's putting in new supports in 2 of our raised beds, and we just didn't get around to it. We've got a lot, but I can at least show you my monster seedlings. We'll see what I've got. What do I have Tuesday? I feel like I just committed something. I have a dentist appointment at noon. That's all right. I'm bringing my dentist a bunch of plants. This is my second year in a row giving him some tomato and pepper plants. So it's a great way to get rid of some of these varieties. And if these people only knew, right, if they only knew the varieties they were getting and how special they are. I do grow certain things that I know people like beefsteak, like what else? Things I'm not growing this year: Cherokee purple, which is fantastic, of course, black crim, yellow pear my parents love, so I grow a few of those. Sun gold, which I'm also not growing, but I give away. So some people really just want, standard. But my one friend who has a farm locally, she's a friend from high school. Obviously, we've been friends since the dark ages. She's got a lovely farm. I've been giving her seedlings for many, many years. She really likes just your standard red tomato. She does do black crim. And then last year I snuck in a bacon lettuce in this, and she was blown away. Sue Ellen, if you're watching, hello there, my friend. So I'm giving her a bunch more of bacon lettuce in this year. I'm giving away a lot of those to other people too. My parents got one of those because I think they'll really, really enjoy it. She does do my friend Sue Ellen does do sun gold. She did like Brad's Atomic Grape a few years ago, but she likes reds. And thankfully this year I'm growing a lot of Spanish reds, so I've given her some of those also, and then one from Georgia, the country, not the state. All right, let's see who else we've got here. Oh, yeah, tell us how your gardens are doing, if they're planted yet. If not, tell us how your seedlings are doing. And this might be the last time I say this, but if you're still holding out for a certain variety that has not germinated yet, put it in the comments. We'll send you positive germination vibes. It may not be too late, and I bet it won't be, depending on where you live, of course. Hi, Jocelyn. Happy Thursday to you. And Anne's here. Hi, Anne. Hi, Akelia, another one of our attendees from Friday. My African blue basil's thriving. I can't wait for it to get bigger so I can start some cuttings to give away too. That's so nice. I'm glad you took one. Yeah, Jen and I both brought cuttings from our African blue basil. We both had original plants, and then these things put off suckers like you would not believe. And I just keep propagating and propagating. I keep meaning to put up a photo of what my one plant. I wonder if I can do that easily. Hang on. If it doesn't take too long. What if I can just pull up a picture? If I can upload it. Because you won't believe the size of this thing. I think I've shown it before. I've never seen anything. I've never seen any plant, flowers or anything attract the pollinators like this basil does. Hang on, I think I can pull it up. Okay, I've got it, I think. Okay. This is one plant. See the size of this thing? That is one plant. It puts out beautiful, beautiful pink flowers. They have purple undersides. Let me see if I can get a closer shot. Here's what the undersides look like. And forgive me for repeating. I'm just saying this stuff in case people have not watched me every week. So this is a special variety that is sterile. It does not go to seed. So you need to get established plants. Again, this is one plant, and I'm doing many of these. In fact, I'm only growing 3 basils this year. Last year I grew a whole bunch of African blue basil, because I'm telling you, it attracts the pollinators like you wouldn't believe. The new Togolese hoary basil, it's supposed that from Experimental Farm Network. That's supposed to smell like juicy fruit gum. I think it's a holy basil or a Tulsi basil. And the Mariani, oh no, I'm doing 4. Mariani African and Opal, which is one of my favorites. Every plant is different. Some have purple and green tie-dye, some are all purple, it's really a really cool cross. And I realized just the other day that I didn't plant any lettuce leaf basil, and last year I got a really cool lettuce leaf basil from Dea Flora, which we talked about last week, called red lettuce leaf basil. So I just started seeds for that. But in general, every bed is getting at least one of these plants, because if you're looking for something for the pollinators, that is it. So if it's your first time watching, I tend to go off on tangents like that. But Achille, I'm really glad it's doing well for you. It will continue to thrive. I have one in my hydro. Actually, I've got 3 plants in my hydro unit upstairs, and it's a monster. I really need to take it out. But they're really easy to propagate. Super easy. Hi, Big Red. And it was nice to meet you, Achille. So nice. And I ordered that tomato oil. I think I told you in the group yesterday. I ordered a half gallon of it. And they also have like a shelf stable version. It's like the dried spice that you just mix with oil. So I ordered some of that too. That stuff is to die for. We were doing shots of it at the event on Friday. It's so good. It's from a company called Cheeky Monkey, for those of you that may have missed it. Hi, Big Red. I keep mentioning the group, and I need to promote it. So if you're not a member of our group, if you're just watching this on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, make sure you join our collective. It's called Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. We appeal to, we're open to the beginning gardener, to the, you're curious about growing tomatoes and you need some help, we can help. Or if you've been growing for, many, many years like I have, there are no stupid questions. You will feel embraced. If you're a new grower, you will feel embraced. You will be able to get a great collection of seeds before you know it. And we're all about education. We do have seed swapping, but we're all about education, celebrating the tomato, celebrating each other. We really are one big family, which is part of the reason why Friday was so special. Even though we hadn't met face to face before, it was amazing just connecting in real life. So I hope in September we can get even more of you out. But please join us, even if you're not on Facebook, join Facebook just to join. We're Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. I promise you, you will never feel attacked. There is no drama, 0. And we celebrate vendors. We celebrate breeders. We have all kinds of resources. So we would love to see you there. Okay, let's get back to some comments, and then eventually, I promise you, I do get to talking tomatoes, and I've got some great ones to talk about this week. Of course, I always have great ones to talk about. There is no shortage of great tomatoes to talk about. That's for sure. Hey, Heidi. Hope you're feeling good. Oh, my goodness. I'm really far behind. Hope you're feeling better, Heidi. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you here. Happy Thursday to you. Hey, Keena. Sam says it's 91 degrees there. It's hot here, but it's raining. Yeah, actually, I shouldn't say it's raining. It hasn't really rained since this afternoon, but I think it's supposed to rain again, if I'm right, Heidi, tomorrow and Saturday. So I hope in Connecticut for my friend's wedding, it's not raining. Hey, Deb. Would love to see you there in September. You, Linda, I would love to see all of you there in September if possible. If you need a halfway point to stop, come to my house. There's another one of our attendees. Hi, Amanda. It was so nice meeting you and Lisa. It was so great meeting everybody. You're a breath of fresh air. It felt so good to see some great tomato plants going home with some great people. Hi, Sasha. Glad you're here. Dirty nails equals summer manicure. You know it. You know it. We love dirty fingernails. Don't trust a tomato lover with clean fingernails. That's what I say. Humidity is rough on the hair. We love dirty fingernails. Hi, Denise. I'm so excited to be able to join today. Vacation day, so I don't have to work tonight. Nice. Very nice. Hi, South Dakota Living. And Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Sherman says, thanks, Heidi, for the freeze-dried treats. They were delicious. They sure were. All right. Make sure if you're joining us late, make sure you type in #tomato. I've got some seeds I will give away. I'm only giving away 2 packets today, so I can afford myself time to catch up. But they are some good ones. And 2 I've grown before. 2 I have not, but I'm talking about today. And 1 is Canadian Heritage, otherwise known as Canada, that I talked about last week. These seeds came from Teresa Begin, as she wanted to give them away. So I'll be giving away a pack of 5 varieties. I'll tell you about the other ones as we get to them, but make sure you type in #tomato in the comments. Hi, Cynthia. Glad you're here. Malachi Jen's here. Happy to be here live for a little while. Me too. Thanks for being here. Hey, Jamie. Sorry you're late. That's all right. We haven't talked about a single tomato. We did talk about our meetup. Well, this was 25 minutes ago. You know where we're at. Man, oh man. Chastity, I brought some extra tough boots for gardening, and now my ankles are white compared to the rest. Yeah, I've got like I don't know if it's considered a farmer's tan, but you can tell I like my my Duluth Trading Company no-tug tanks and overalls because I've got not farmer's tan this way, but farmer's tan this way. Hi, Sherva. Thanks for being here. And Iceworks is here. Hi, Iceworks. And Nicole. Hey there. There's the other Christy. I was supposed to meet Kim today, but that didn't get to happen. But we're so close, so very soon. Good. Kinas. I've already taken care of the napkins, believe it or not. And Heidi had included some tomato napkins, which honestly, it was so crazy, Heidi. I didn't even see them until after I got home, but from Target. And so I've ordered more. Yeah, if you don't. Oh, right. Oh, I was thinking you were saying if you don't like the tomato, you can spit that out. You can do that too. But if you like the tomato, sure, you can spit the seeds out. Bring your own little baggies, whatever. I'm worried by the end of September, my tomatoes were mostly done last year. That does happen. It's a really tough time to call. We were actually talking about even early October, so I wanted to move it a little bit earlier, Jen and I did, because I know that happens, especially those of you down south, they may be done. But that's okay. If you have nothing to taste, just come so you can taste others. I will certainly still have some for sure. Big Red's Garden says, I'm in Canada. I don't know where you're at in Canada. I think Rowena's in Manitoba, if I'm not mistaken. So that's where she's looking to organize something. Brian says, oh, great idea of hosting our own. Anyone in within driving distance to the Kansas City area? Fantastic. Thanks, Brian. It would be great to do it all on the same day. That would be such fun, but that's not always possible with everybody's schedules. I was talking to Rowena about that. Hi, Yvette. Thanks for being here. And Claudia's here. And Randy's here. Hey, Randy, was it you that was telling me last year about you got to taste Nano's Meatball Dwarf before I did? And you said it was a tomato like no other. Was it you? In my mind, it was you. But let me know. You said, wait till you taste it. It's like the best tomato you'll ever have. And it was up there for sure. I'm growing it again. Here's my friend Terry. Hi, Lauren. Tomato. Happy chat. Nice to see you, Terry. Chastity #sourdough. I know. I know. I forgot with all the craziness of the weekend, I forgot to put my starter out at room temperature, so we didn't get our first fresh loaf from yeah, last Thursday to yesterday, so almost a week. We usually get one every other night. Um, so yeah, that was quite tragic. But the loaf last night was great last night, and then the other half will go tonight. Hi, Renee. Thanks for being here. Chastity, all of my tomato plants I planted are doing phenomenal. Excited for Phelan's first snowfall, Moonlight Mile Pink, the most. They're so pretty. Those are variegated varieties for sure. Also, all of my cazulas and jarson plants are huge. Some of the leaves on the plants are bigger than my hand. Those are nice, healthy plants, the cazulas and the jarsons, in my experience. Malachi Jen says, I'm finally going to start planting out this week. So glad they weren't in already. Yeah, you had some crazy weather coming, right? We had 65-mile-per-hour wind gusts the past few days. And didn't you post a screenshot that you were going to have, like, I don't know if it was snow, but really cold temperatures, right? I've been saying that we won't be doing until the fourth weekend in March this year after having PTSD from 2 years ago where we got a frost on March 17th. But we've looked at the 10-day forecast. We are fine. So I don't mean to tell anybody they shouldn't be planting out who are in my area, of course. You should be good unless some freak thing happens. Denise says, I had one bacon lettuce and this seedling that survived. I'm looking so forward to trying this one. I hope I'm not steering you wrong. I don't think I am. I was telling Kina and Jen that I'm growing a lot of those this year. Probably started 20 seedlings or more. And I've got two that have come out regular leaf. So may not be completely stable. They are supposed to be potato leaf. The regular leaf version is, Kina, what is it? Miss Scarlet in the kitchen with a knife, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it's the same variety, just different leaf type. Rach, just Rach. Hi, Rach. Nice to see you. Nareg, a quarter of my tomato seedlings are gone. It looks like cutworms to blame. Oh, no. I'm so sorry. Were they outside or was that in the soil? I know somebody posted something in the group saying that their Pro Mix had cutworms in the Pro Mix. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. My heart really goes out to you. Christy says, Wolverine is giving me issue. I literally did sow more yesterday. Well, that's good. That's good. I don't think you'll be too late. Hi, Eva. Kina, I've been planting out gradually this week, but we are having crazy winds and sunshine, so I had to make tents to protect them, but they needed to go out as it was awful dragging them in and out. Yeah, I didn't do my garage tomatoes this year. For those of you that have been following for a while, normally, I think I talked about this last week too. I'll start dwarfs a month or so earlier, and I'll put them in grow bags so I can drag them out during the day, drag them in at night, unlike my indeterminates, which that's too much of a pain. And it is still a pain, but I'm a little behind my act this year as far as the dwarfs. So my dwarfs they actually have just been planted in grow bags, but everything's been outside for weeks at this point, except for a couple new things I've gotten. Got Nancy McCormick to thank for one or two of those, and a couple other friends who I'm a little behind. Terry, you're one of those too. Thank you very much. And if there's one that comes in, it's going in the soil no matter what. Linda says, I've started putting aluminum foil around my stems like grandmother did for cutworms. Good tip. Hey, Susan. Susan attended on Friday also. It was so nice to meet you, Susan. My seedlings are doing good. A bit of sun scald, but new growth on all of them is good. It's supposed to be in the 30s early Monday, so nothing is getting planted just yet. Yikes. What a nightmare. I am Gift Bear. Hello, just got home. Love to see some new tomato varieties. I love basil too. Is that holy basil? No, the African blue basil is not a holy basil. It was a cross in someone's garden in California of opal basil, and now I forget, it's some African type that for whatever reason is sterile. It does go to flower, but it does not produce seeds. You cannot purchase seeds for this variety. but I've been recommending probably ad nauseum, get plants on eBay. I think I paid maybe $12 for my original plant, and I have gotten more plants from that thing. Everything I gave away on Friday, I gave away some big cutting plants. I gave away some itty bitty ones. They root very easily. Oh, Denise, I ordered an African blue basil plant from Etsy to be delivered this Saturday. Yay! You will love it. And the pollinators do love it. For those of you joining late, this is what we're talking about. This is one plant from my garden last year. Run, don't walk to Etsy to get yourself a plant. I know, I forget who it was. Was it Missy? Somebody actually found it at their garden center, and the person selling them was kind of surprised she knew all about it because it's not the most well known, but it is a fantastic variety. Rowena, you found a nursery that had it too? Excellent. Excellent. Hey, Teresa. Better late than never. Glad you're here. Heidi says, ooh, red lettuce leaf. Yeah. Deaflora, Deaflora is the name of the vendor. We spoke about it. Jen and I did on Friday. I think I may have mentioned it even last Thursday. They have, and I'm a basil collector. As much as I'm a tomato collector, I'm a basil collector. They have the most wonderful varieties of basil, and Jen informed me that they have new this year that I did not know. So, oh, they're very heat tolerant. If you're talking about the African blue basil, absolutely. Absolutely. Right in the heat of summer. Humidity, where I'm in New Jersey, gets pretty humid. So I don't know where you are. I forget where you are, but yeah, I think you should be good. Nicole, hey, Nicole. I ordered Cheeky Monkey too. It was so nice to meet you on Friday, Nicole. Thank you for making the trip. That stuff is good. They sell it by the gallon. And I figured since I'm like an all-in person, I wanted to order a gallon. I'm like, let me start with a half gallon. And they are from Syracuse, New York, which is where Akelia is from. So it's supporting local business, which I enjoy. The stuff, if you like tomatoes and you like garlic, you must get it. It's like, and Jen and I were burping in each other's faces, and it smelled really good, actually. Denise says, I bought it from Nanu's nursery. Total price with shipping, $17.27. Believe me, you will get your money's worth out of that. Hey, Francis, finally here. Had to get rid of everyone in the office so I could listen to important stuff. Exactly. Georgia rain has been insane. Karen, no tomatoes in the ground, but I have most of them outside finally. I'm giving a lot away, selling some, growing about 150. And when that's all sorted out, I'll be giving more away. You sound exactly like me, Karen. Giving some to my dentist. I still have my friend Sue Ellen with the farm coming tomorrow. My parents are all done. Jen had a tray and a half. Hers are all gone. I gave Heidi some. Who else? Rob's bringing some into the office, and then I have two friends who take whatever's left. But there's a few that I'm hanging on to that are really, really special. And my original seedlings look great, but I'm keeping them until the very last minute just in case, because if anything happened to them, seeds are not easy to find and I would die. So, yeah, I'm keeping a couple just in case. It's actually turning out to be more than a couple. I may throw them in grow bags and just grow a second plant. Jen's growing 2 plants of each, which I think is really smart. Hey, Darla, glad you're here. That basil's so beautiful. It is. And somebody asked me not too long ago, how is it for culinary purposes? Amazing, delicious, absolutely delicious. It's not just a pretty basil that attracts pollinators. It is a delicious, delicious basil too. I forget how I found out about it originally. I don't know. I must have been doing all my research, found it doesn't go to seed, found you can't buy it anywhere. And I'm like, I must find it. So I love to give it away too. Justin's still picking brandywines here in Australia, despite it being 1 degree overnight. I'm not great with calculating Celsius. Is that like 20 degrees Fahrenheit? That sounds a little too cold. Like 32, is that right? Whatever it is, it sounds really cold. I really need to get better about, I'm getting better about centimeters, inches, grams, and all of that. But temperatures, I'm not so great. I want to find some tomato short pant coveralls. I know that Duluth Trading Company, Duluth Trading Company, which is where I get all my coveralls from. They have the ones I use are, what do they call them? Bib overall. I forget. Somebody remind me. I only have like 100 pair of them. Exaggeration. They do convert so you can make them like capris, but I did see they offer shorts versions also. Not tomato specifically, but they have that new print that has the seed packets on it. And there's Heidi. Duluth sells them in shorts too. Yes, it was you, Randy. I knew it. I'm growing nanos again this year. Me too. And Heidi started 3 nanos this time around. Hi, Pretty. Glad you're here. Chastity took a 2-week break from sourdough. My boss looked at me last week and was like, "Where's my sourdough?" Oh, your boss is a lucky person. Sasha says, "So glad I didn't plant out 2 weeks ago. So much rain." It's funny where I am. It goes from like drought, then all of a sudden we have nothing but rain. But the plant, I have all my seedlings outside in draining containers, so they are fine. I would like a little bit more sun. Darla says, "I'm planning on starting to plant mine out next week. We are due for some storms this weekend, so I'm waiting until those are out of here." That's smart. Today's commercials are video games and prison. They're advertising prison? Like, come to this prison? Sasha says, "Large membranous was the first to pop through soil." I'm glad. I hope that you like it as much as we did. That was a really nice surprise from last year. Huge tomatoes. We weren't even growing that one, looking for that elusive 2-pound tomato for us. It was my son choosing it because the name was funny. He's 27 in 2 days, by the way. And so we didn't prune it or anything like that. And we were getting things that are close to 3-pound tomatoes, and it tasted good. So hope, here's a good question. Hi, Rebecca Wood. I hope you like them as much as I did. Do you think I could bring tomatoes over the border? I'm in northern Minnesota. I wonder. I know you can't bring them on airplanes and things like that. Chastity says, "I'm having issues with dwarf shamrock. I've started seeds 4 times now and no luck." Do you know where your seeds came from? Are they old seeds? I've had that with one particular vendor, that seeds can be up to 10 years old. And ideally, they should be able to germinate, but they're not going to germinate as quickly as you. It may need some TLC for germination. Quincy, I had the same issues with cutworms in the Pro Mix. First time trying it after lots of people recommended, but never again. Oh my God. That's terrible. Yeah, which Pro Mix was it? There are a couple different Pro Mix. And then there was somebody else put something in the group about there being herbicide damage or herbicide contamination in Pro Mix also. And I forget which Pro Mix it is. Hi, Idaho Garden Girl. Nice to see you. I'm so behind this year because of my travels. I'll be planting in the ground next week. And Sam says you can use empty toilet paper rolls around the base of a seedling to protect from cutworms. That's a good idea. Hey, Missy. I was planning on planting, but we have a severe risk of storms tomorrow. Yeah, you're probably better off. And Rowena has the answer. You can't bring fruits or veggies across the border. You could smuggle in some seeds or just bring yourself if you want. That's nice. Jamie's obsessed with basil. I'm going to have to get the African blue. I love when it goes to flower. Basil flowers are beautiful. They sure are. And Pretty, you found it at your local nursery too. That's excellent. And Brian, I ordered it from Etsy Friday and received it Monday. I'm excited to grow it this year. Has anyone tried lettuce leaf basil? I was looking at it on Etsy and was wondering if it's hardy and good tasting. Yes, I mentioned it. Maybe you weren't here yet. I did mention I'm growing the red lettuce leaf basil, but I've grown the green for years. It's great. It's great. You can use it as a lettuce leaf on a burger. I mean, the leaves get really big and they taste wonderful. And I found them to be hardy for sure. It's a video game in prison. Okay. My commercial was Haas Tools and Seeds. Well, at least that's applicable to what we're talking about. Garden Girl. Hi, Garden Girl. I love basils. I started 14 varieties this year, but I don't have the African blue. The seeds I used just didn't germinate. Yeah, African blue doesn't have seeds, which maybe, I'm not sure. There is African, there's Mariani African, but African blue you can't get seeds for. It doesn't go to seed. But whatever it is, I'm sorry they didn't germinate. Do you have blue spice basil? Yeah, that's different. Oh, Ansel's here. Ansel says, hi, Mrs. Tomato Head. My splotchy plant has baby tomatoes. Yay, Ansel. Yay. Nice to see you. We've missed you, Ansel. Sasha says, your son is almost 27. I just turned 43 and we were both 12. The name large member. Nicole, hi, Nicole. I'm having issues with dwarf Metallica. I'm on my second round of seeds. That stinks. I agree. The manufacturer needs to compensate people for that. Losing plants is expensive. And if it's happened to at least 2 people in Tomato Lovers Collective, and what is with the peace sign and balloons? I don't know. Then it's happened to many. And I would recommend that you email the company because those bags are not cheap at all. I would die. Okay, let me try to skip ahead here. I didn't know there was red lettuce leaf basil. I'm not sure where you can find it here. I'm sure you can. I got it from Dea Flora, which is in Germany. Okay, let's get to some tomatoes, shall we? Thank you guys for joining in. Anybody? Oh, wait, I missed some. Hey, Dawn, I ordered my African blue basil from Richter's. Good. Good to know. Okay, where's my slideshow here? Here we go. So this first one I got from my friend Kathy Robertson. I hope you don't mind me saying that, Kathy. She sent me just a lovely note. We didn't do a trade or anything, and she just sent me a lovely note along with a pack of these, and I did not have them. This is a variety called Charlie Chaplin. How fun are these? I love the looks of them. I'm surprised I hadn't heard of them yet. So, and she sent me the package. It was from Tim's Tomatoes, which you can find online. It says Charlie Chaplin is a unique heirloom tomato variety that produces 4 to 10 ounce deep red accordion-shaped fruit that are mostly hollow at maturity, resembling a bell pepper. The fruits are rich and balanced and are fantastic for stuffing, taking to market, or slicing, making an aesthetically appealing garnish. And then Reamer Seeds says it matures in 78 days. High yields of 4 to 10 ounce scarlet red ruffled tomatoes. They are juicy and very flavorful. The mature fruit is almost hollow, resembles a bell pepper. Looks like a lot of these vendors kind of share verbiage here. Excellent choice for home gardens and specialty market growers. Heirloom variety from the United States, indeterminate. Has anybody grown Charlie Chaplin? I want to share what you thought. Oh, thanks, Nicole. Everybody, please make sure to give this live a thumbs up. That would help. If you don't already subscribe, please subscribe. And a thumbs up really does help, so I would appreciate that. If you can give a thumbs up, you're all just sitting there watching on YouTube, you may as well give it a thumbs up if you don't mind. And if you're watching on Instagram, we do have several people watching from Instagram, it looks like. I can't see your comments, so if you're trying to comment or win prizes, I can't. So you need to come over to YouTube. For whatever reason, third-party platforms don't allow Instagram. I would have to do like an Instagram live in order to have live comments come in, but I like to stream to several places at once, which is what EV Mux allows me to do, and StreamYard before that. And for whatever reason, if you're just looking to watch, no big deal. But if you'd like to win CD prizes each week and put your 2 cents in regarding tomatoes, or ask questions or whatever, it's not that I'm not answering you. I can't see it. Renee grew Charlie Chaplin last year. Very pretty, but I felt they should have been more ruffled. So I purchased more seeds from Tim's Seeds. Okay, good to know. I'm generally not a huge fan of the hollow ones. Last year I grew, there's controversy. There's Deep Space and there's Snickers. This was labeled Deep Space Snickers. I think they're actually two different varieties that look very much the same. And there's a story behind that, which I think I've told before. But I grew those, and they're super pretty. Flavor was and they were very hollow, but a very cool variety. These look a lot less hollow than what those were, and very, very cool. I love the looks of it. Tim's canceled my order because he wanted a larger order, and then told me a week later and didn't answer my question. So I'm boycotting his business. Well, that's not good. Heidi says, I've never had crazy issues with Tim's. Charlie Chaplin's so cute. And Heidi says, I order from him through Etsy. Same, Andrea. Nice to see you, Andrea. I don't care for hollow, but I do like the fluted ones. I like Castelluccio Genovese a couple of years ago. And also that same year we grew, it starts with an S. Maybe. I'll think of it. Another one that was very fluted too in the same year. Ooh, totally escaping me. That doesn't usually happen to me when it comes to tomatoes. I'm like a genius in remembering things, unlike in my real life. Castelluccio Genovese, and somebody can think of another fluted variety, old heirloom, that starts with an S maybe. Winner, chicken dinner. Okay, anybody else talking about Charlie Chaplin? That's all the info I've got on it. Nope. Wasn't a Castelluccio. Nope. Wasn't Mushroom Basket, no. I keep wanting to say Soldaki, but that's not it. That's not fluted. And maybe it doesn't start with an S, but in my mind, it kind of does. It's a very famous old heirloom. Renee says, my order was canceled by Tim's Tomatoes also. I think my order was $12. First time ever. He said now he's adding free tracked shipping, so he has a set dollar amount. Interesting. Francis is growing Castelluccio Genovese. True art. Yeah, it really is. It's a cool one, and they've got great shelf life too. This is going to make me crazy. My mind's not going to be in the game because I'm going to be trying to think of this variety. It was only like 3 years ago. That's it. Thank you. It didn't start with an S at all. It was Zapotec. Nice, Elizabeth. Very nice. And Garden Girl, same time. Zapotec. Yes, it was Zapotec. We liked Castelluccio Genovese better, for sure. Well, thank you for remembering that. Even despite me saying it starts with an S, I guess I'm losing it today. Yay, Elizabeth and Garden Girl, you both win. Thank you for helping me out. All right, this next one is super cool. Just found out about it today on Instagram from the account of Common Sense Seeds, who I did an unboxing of theirs several months ago, which you can find on my YouTube channel, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. I love their seeds. I love what they do. I love their stories because they always come with a story. And I'm talking about 2 varieties of theirs today. This one is not available yet. It's called Santa Catalina. This information came, they posted it on their Instagram, how they're kind of reviving this old heirloom variety that originally came from Gleckler's That's an old catalog write-up about it. Let me tell you, and it's from Argentina. And if you try to find it anywhere else, I sure couldn't find it, but they are going to have it in the fall of 2025. So keep your eyes peeled. This is an old Gleckler's variety introduced in 1952. We are growing it. This is from Common Sense Seeds. We are growing it for the first time in 2025. And so far, the seedlings are some of the most robust, healthy looking seedlings we have ever grown. I can see that from this picture. Look at that. Almost looks like a dwarf, like very rugose, compact leaves. Let me give you, for those of you that have not visited their website, commonsenseseeds.ca. They're in Canada. They do ship to the United States. As far as I know, they still are. They have amazing varieties. In fact, I just dropped, now that everything's kind of out and ready to be planted, I've done like a second sowing. Well, I do succession, sow my other ones, but of micros and minis. I'm going to grow some inside, but some of them, some that are mini dwarfs that they offer, I put into soil yesterday. One of them I'm talking about today, I think. Am I? I forget. I forget if I am. I'm talking about, no, I don't think so. I'm talking about one of theirs, but they've got a variety called Johnny Jump Up. Muchacha's not theirs. All right. My brain's not working on tomato time today, gang. All right, but let's focus on Santa Catalina. Gleckler's seedsmen from Ohio were known for their unique seeds from the 1950s through the 1990s, and we are always on the lookout for their varieties, which are hard to find. We were fortunate to acquire seed stock for Santa Catalina from the USDA Gene Bank, otherwise known as GRIN, Grin. Here is the write-up for Santa Catalina from the front page of the 1952 Gleckler Seed Catalog. And this is in the image here. A new jumbo pear tomato developed by Professor Abelardo Piovano at the National University of Argentina. Excellent for tomato paste or as a salad tomato, grown in the home garden, mid-season to late in maturity. Oh, Blue Fruit is another one I got from them. That one's kind of established. It's another, looks like a mini dwarf that has purple tomatoes. I've talked about that variety before in a previous episode. And then they say we will have Santa Catalina seeds available in the fall of 2025. So that's super cool, huh? Darla, I thought of you earlier today, Lauren. I sowed the last of my African and Mariani basil this morning. The previous ones didn't germinate, so please send growing vibes my way. Sending, and please let me know if they don't germinate. I had trouble with the Togolese Hori basil from Experimental Farm Network, and I know Kina did as well. Kina, I don't know if you're still here, if you had to go to bed, but did yours ever germinate? I have gotten germination now and have several plants because I took an entire pack and put it all over soil because I have to grow that one. But yeah, that one I haven't had trouble germinating. So please let me know. I'd be happy to send you some more of those. They're extraordinary and exquisite. Okay, I don't understand what the conversation's going, so I'm going to skip it. So, who likes Santa Catalina? Looks cool, right? I will be first in line to order this come the fall, and I will be watching. If you didn't, huh? Shoot. And of course, I just sent you an envelope. I should have asked you before I sent it. Bummer. You're not getting the juicy fruit smell. How big is it? Karen, I love this little backstory about Santa Catalina. Thanks. You're welcome. You're welcome. I saw it on Instagram this morning. I'm like, that is going right on my list to talk about today. So I'm excited. I love stories with a history. And look at that plant. Let's look at it again. Look at that. Does that not look like a dwarf? New jumbo red pear. I also love, as you guys probably know, when varieties get put back into the the tomato system. I worked hard to get B times Macbeth out there, and now you can find it all over the place. Seeds for that were incredibly hard to find. So I love that they are reviving Santa Catalina, because stories like this and tomatoes like this can't die. It's up to us to save the tomato. Okay, next one. White Queen. I don't talk a whole lot about varieties I don't have, and this one came across my radar, and I'm like, I actually don't have this, which is kind of shocking, but it looks so beautiful. And I know pictures say everything, but it's a variety offered by the Experimental Farm Network. I keep name dropping them today. By the way, the Mariani African and Opal Basil also came from them. This tomato was introduced in 1941 by the Earl May Seed Company of Shenandoah, Iowa. Eventually, they fell into obscurity. And if you've grown this, please let us know, or if you're growing it this year. Haley, I don't know if you're here, but I thought of you with this one. Thankfully, some were donated in 1963 for preservation to the USDA Research Station in Cheyenne, Wyoming. They remain part of the USDA's core tomato collection and are now preserved at the Northeast Regional PI Station in Geneva, New York. Some decades later, tomato guru Craig LaHoulier, we all know him, nice guy, got a sample of seeds from the USDA, then shared them with another tomato guru, Dr. Carolyn Mail. And in 1995, Dr. Mail reintroduced White Queen to the world through the Seed Savers Exchange Yearbook. And are we ever glad she did? This is one of the most delicious tomatoes on the planet. Who's grown this? Delicious tomatoes on the planet. And I've got a couple whites that are claiming the same thing, so I'll have to see. Well, I'm not growing this one this year, but I love the pink blush on the bottom. Look at this. Kind of looks like Stella del Sol from Switzerland, which I'm growing this year. It has that pink blush on the bottom. So gorgeous. Though it looks like a tomato that encountered Bunnicula. Look it up. I didn't look it up. I don't know what Bunnicula is. Drained of all color, it has most certainly not been drained of flavor. White Queen is sweet, juicy, and fruity. Like other light-colored tomatoes, it is relatively low in acidity, but it still has a complex flavor. Some fruit may have a slight yellow coloration, but in general, this is considered the whitest of the white tomatoes, and seeds should only be saved from plants with the whitest tomatoes to best preserve the variety. Most people, when they see their first white tomato, have absolutely no idea what to do with it. Same with green tomatoes. But after just one bite, each and every one of them figures it out. Enjoy. Anybody grown this? Anybody growing it this year? Ooh, hashtag 2026. I know, right? Same. Kelly grew it. Kelly said, I grew White Queen 2 years ago. It was yummy. Good. Queen is pretty. Oh, I think you're right, Jamie. I think I have heard of that vampire bunny. Yes. So if it's drained of all color, chances are that's exactly what it is. Nure, I was not able to answer your question. My seedlings were outside, and yes, I was using Pro Mix. I think the cut worms were in the potting soil. Do you know which type of Pro Mix it was, though? Because they have a bunch. There's the condensed black package, and then they have a lot of specialty ones as well. I use one of them for growing microgreens. Just curious, so we can give people a bit of a heads up. Rebecca grew White Queen maybe 15 years ago. Do you remember what you thought of it? It sure is pretty. Never had a white tomato. Do whites have a distinct taste? Well, in general, they're milder and like this less acidic tasting. But I sure am finding several lately that say they're exploding with flavor. I'm growing a few of them. So yeah, and somebody last week was going crazy for white tomasol. So they would be milder like a yellow, sometimes an orange, but I don't know. This one says it's got power punch of flavor. 1980s. Is this when you grew it, Karen? Or oh, gotcha. I missed your first comment. Bunnicula is the title character of a light-hearted horror light children's book from the 1980s. Okay. I can kind of see Bunnicula in my brain, in my mind. Kina, yeah, I was going to mention you. I've never tasted a bad white tomato. I really like them. Sam says I used 8 2 cubic foot black and red pro mix this year with no issue. If you live neighboring cornfields, cut and army words may be coming from fields post herbicide spray. There was an herbicide thing though. It was going around to other tomato groups, so there was at least an herbicide thing where there was like a warning put out of in Pro Mix. It was from Costco, premium organic vegetable and herb mix. So probably the one in the black bag that's condensed. It's good stuff. Normally, it's really good stuff. I mean, I'm an evangelist for Fox Farm Ocean Forest, but I think that's a little bit cheaper, and people swear by it. I grew it a couple of years ago. Not sure if it was the seeds I got, but mine was just meh. Okay, good to know. Now I have to see if I have any white tomatoes. I haven't grown them in several years, and I think white tomasaul was the one I grew where I was just kind of like, it's good, not great. I like the loud flavor, right, Darla? Ha, there's Haley. Where's our girl who likes the white? Haha, go figure. When I'm able to get on here, you're talking about a white tomato. I said, is Haley here? Glad you're here, Haley. And it was amazing meeting you and your husband also. Thank you for coming out. For those of you, I think I talked about this on Friday with Jen. So I had promised, I had 2 extra Stella Del Sol seedlings. My brain is not working today, gang. One I promised to Jen like a month ago. The other one, Heidi had been looking for it in the group. And I said I want more plants. I promised it to her. And then Haley had said that I had given Haley seeds. She was the only person I gave seeds to, and hers died, I think, or didn't germinate. I forget. And Heidi donated her seedling to Haley, which was awfully nice. This is what this group does, this community. Just the nicest people. I'm sure you may have seen in the group, but just in case you didn't, we had, during our Friday, we had one random person at the park who saw all these plants, and he came over. He was obviously a tomato grower because he zeroed right in, and he's like, what's going on here? And, we asked, do you like tomatoes? Do you grow tomatoes? And he's like, I'm a big tomato grower. So we loaded him up. He said, can I make a donation? Of course, we said no. We loaded him up with a box of tomatoes. And honestly, every single one of us there, we were so happy. We were so thrilled. And Lisa actually put a post about it in the group. And he joined the group. And he messaged me yesterday as a thank you for the plants. So this is the type of people you get in Tomato Lovers Collective and Swap. People that just love to share our tomatoes and our stories and our seeds and make other people happy. Denise says, I grew great white last year and it surprised me, tasted like a great tomato, growing that one again this year, adding white queen to my 2026 list. You and me both. Quincy, I used the seed starting pro mix. Can't speak for the tomato or mycorrhizae ones. I'm growing lotus and white lightning this year for whites. Haven't grown either one of those. Oh, Haley, I'll be forever grateful for both of you for that. You have Heidi to thank, my friend. It broke my heart that you weren't going to be able to grow it, because when I got those seeds and they came from a friend who ordered them for me from Switzerland. They're not easy to come by. So I was really excited to give those to you. I've got some exciting whites coming this year too. Justin, I find the white beauty full of flavor. And Heidi says, hope you get lots of tomatoes. Me too. What an awesome story and community. It's amazing how growing brings people together. It is totally. Like, I kind of wanted to cry. I think a lot of us did. He was such a nice guy. Mike, if you're watching, hi. He said he watched the episode from Friday. I don't know if told him my YouTube. I must have told him our YouTube accounts. I wrote down the name of the group for him, and he did find us. I was really hoping he would join. White Queen looks really good. Haley, oh, there's a White Lightning. I don't think I've heard of that one. Please let me know how it is. There's a lot of white ones. Raminta, hi Raminta, growing Phantom Dulaus and Great White Blues this year. That's an interesting one, Great White Blues. Okay, let's move on from White Queen. I can't believe I haven't talked about this one yet. It's such a Lauren tomato. I haven't grown it, but I do have seeds, and I keep mentioning that I have now had to start a list of all the tomatoes I've talked about so far, so I don't repeat. I've repeated a few for various reasons, but this one, according to my records, and there's another one coming up that I can't believe. It feels like I just talked about it. Maybe I just missed it on the list, but we'll get to that in a minute. Everett's Rusty Oxheart. This is a variety bred by the incomparable Tom Wagner of the United States. This is a beauty. This is a beauty. I'm growing something. I'm not growing this year, but I'm growing something that is crossed with this, which is really, really exciting. This information is from Tatiana's Tomato Base. It's an indeterminate regular leaf, beautiful, unusual heart-shaped fruits with yellowish green flesh and brownish red exterior, medium to large size. 90 days to maturity, 6 to 12 inch ox heart with rusty red skin, greenish yellow flesh, very good flavor, good yield. First offered in Seed Savers yearbook in 2007 by Bill Minke, who received the seed from Caitlin Jones of Massachusetts in 2007. And then Tomato Faifu says heart-shaped fruit from 150 to 400 grams. And if you've grown this, please tell. It's been around a while, so I'm sure some of you have grown it. I'm not growing it, Haley. Everett's Rusty Oxheart was a good one. Grew it 2 years ago. I hope you love it. I should be growing it. I am growing something really, somebody made an exciting cross with it that I'm super excited for. That looks so good. Anybody else grown this? Everett's Rusty Oxheart? Beautiful. It is gorgeous. I love those interior shots. Good production. Plant with small stems and moderate development. Green mottled with pink and yellow with a fruity flavor reminiscent of black pineapple, otherwise known as Ananas Noir. And then Good Mind Seeds, Phil Seneca says, one of the most striking rust-colored tomatoes, this GWR or green when ripe bicolor heart tomato is one of the most striking slicer tomatoes along with being productive and surprisingly hardy. The flavor is strong and sweet. I like. Why is this not on my grow list? I don't know. And the heart-shaped fruits sometimes are accompanied by more rounded shapes. And you can kind of see that. So the photo in the center, where did I get that one? I think that was from Good Mind Seeds from Phil Seneca. I think that's one of his photos. And then the ones flanking it on either side are from Tomato Faifu. So you can see those are more rounded, but other shots that I've seen on the internet do look more of a heart shape. In cool weather, the hearts come out more as the expected shape. The outside color seems to be a solid brick red most of the time, but when you cut open, exposes a cool green contrast that is sure to surprise and impress. Definitely better than most yellow bicolors. Lauren, why are you not growing this? Because there's too many other good things I had to grow this year. Nicole says, I have seeds for it, but haven't grown it. Oh, Rach, this community is awesome. A God-sent group of kind-hearted people. That's a nice thing to say. I agree. It does look like it would be full of flavor. How I haven't grown it until now, I don't know. I'm ashamed of myself. That is just gorgeous. I agree. Hi, Deanna. Glad you're here. Make sure for those of you joining late, we have 90 live viewers now. Type in hashtag tomato, and I'll be doing a drawing two winners today. I know, Sherman, you're bad for me. Sounds like it's time to fill a grow bag and drop seeds. I know. It's not too late. writing down. I've been eyeing it for years. I think it was on my grow list this year. But people have just been giving me some really rare stuff that there's no way I can't grow it. So things have to fall off. But I think this needs to come back on. Thanks, Sherman. Nicole says, I was going to grow this, but it got beat out by not purple strawberry. That looks nice too. And then Teresa says, unfortunately got bumped to next year. I have seeds for this too. Hashtag tomato. Yeah. So that's Everett's Rusty Oxheart. From one enabler to another. I know. I resemble that remark. I do. I am the tomato temptress extraordinaire. Totally. Keen, I'm sure you have to go to bed soon. Make sure you watch the rest tomorrow. I don't want you to go to bed, trust me. But I think it's the very last variety I'm talking about you gave me. Probably an unexpected one. So make sure you watch tomorrow. Hey, Nicole Smith Gardening. Looks like you're having a good season so far, huh? Huh? What was that? Huh and huh all together. Huh? Nice to see you here, my friend. Okay, next one. This is another one I can't believe I haven't talked about. We've talked about a lot of Sophias, and I thought I had talked about I did talk about this one on my grow list video because I am growing this one this year. There are a lot of comets of Sophias and several emeralds. I think Emerald Rain of Sophia is one that's available at Tomato Eden. As far as I know, Emerald Comet Sophia is not available anywhere to purchase now, but it will be in the fall. These I got directly from Sophia. Very nice person and talented breeder she is. It's an F6 generation. Looks amazing. She said shows good stability, but at this point of selection, there's a possibility of splitting. Average ripening period, 2 meters. That's not right. Average height, 2 meters in a greenhouse. Fruits, 200 to 500 grams. Twisted hearts, emerald with yellow stripes, and good antho. Handsome tomato, taste with sweetness. That's all I know about Emerald Comet of Sophia. Anybody else growing that this year? I know it's a little hard to find. We're growing a lot of Sophias, that is for sure. Rowena says, as hard as the decisions were for this year, I have so many more interesting ones for next year that I have no idea how I'll make my 2026 grow list. I know. Same. And my own personal F2s of my indeterminate cross are looking great, and I'm planting a bunch of those. It's never ending. There's just too many good tomatoes, but that's a good thing. Okay. So that's Emerald Comet of Sophia. Next, now this one shocked me that I haven't talked about on this show. I swear I have, and I just didn't have it written down on my sheet. Did I bring it up in my Top Tomatoes of All Time show? It's called Black Hole Sun. It's a sublime cherry tomato by Bill Jeffers. I grew it last year. Let me expand the photo just so you can see, because look at this interior. Boom. I'm almost positive I've talked about this one on this show, but it's worth another mention because it's an extraordinary tomato. Black Hole Sun. Who else has grown it? Who is growing it this year? Oh, Keena, I only got one of this Emerald Comet, and I manhandled it and broke off the top, but luckily it's having 2 suckers now. It was close to not being in my garden this year. I'm so glad. See, things like that are the reason why I've got a couple like extras of things. I did give away some rare Sophias to people that were there on Friday. I know I gave Kim Pierce, I gave you something. I gave away an ochre symphony and another green one that I gave you, Kim. Now, tropical pear. Sophia's tropical pear, something like that. I gave you that one, which looks similar to that Emerald Comet Sophia. Sweet tropical pear. I think that's what it's called. But others I'm hanging on to, like All the Colors of the World, and I have Triumph of Sophia, and others that you can't get yet that I'm hanging on to because I'll die if anything happens. Magic Rainbow. There's a bunch. No, it's actually a different one. Elena's Emerald Comet. Good question, Heidi. It is a different one. Elena's Emerald Comet is different from Sophia's Emerald Comet. Believe it or not, it's confusing. Haley said, Black Hole Sun got bumped from my grow list this year, and I was so sad to let it go. It's really a great cherry. Is there a song, Black Hole Sun? Who sings it? I don't know. Hey, Deb. Yeah, I'm not surprised you loved it too. Okay, so Black Hole Sun it's a regular leaf variety, grew to be about 6 feet in my in-ground bed. I grew it in, no, sorry, not in-ground bed. I grew it in a 15-gallon grow bag. It's a variety bred by Bill Jeffers, another very prolific breeder, talented breeder. He's from the United States. These deep purple cherries are a cross between sun gold and an unknown black. I wrote, this is my review on Instagram, I think. I was hoping for the sweetness of sun gold with the depth of flavor of a purple tomato, and that is exactly what these glorious cherries provide for the tomato head in all of us. Black Hole Sun is very productive from mid-season on. Like their parent Sun Gold, they do have a tendency towards radial cracking, which you can kind of see if you look closely at these photos. See the radial cracking? No, that's not radial, that's concentrics. Don't mind me. So picking before rain would be ideal. However, the flavor of Black Hole Sun makes up for this minor annoyance. Deep purple with dark green shoulders. When you slice open these large cherries, you are gifted with one of my favorite things in a tomato, green seeds and goo. Black Hole Sun cherries are so incredibly sweet with a brick score. They had a brick score of 9, and we rated it overall 8 out of 10, which is a great review from us. They are a burst of sweet and tangy with slight umami and are an explosion of tomato flavor. Wow. And then I wrote, I highly recommend Black Hole Sun for anyone looking for a loud flavored cherry. In my opinion, it is better than Sun Gold, and I stand by that. It's a great cherry. Kina Sweet Tropical Pear. I had two big, beautiful plants of, and I've planted out both because I need 2 of stuff. I know. Well, especially with the year that you had last year. I don't blame you, but I mean, these seeds from Sophia they're better than diamonds. Hey, Harley, glad you're here. Oh, Nicole, you had a swap video? I didn't see it. I'll have to check it out. Soundgarden group was Black Hole Sun. Did not know that. Hey, Lena, glad you're here. I probably know the song and I just don't know the name of it. I was getting I was out of college in the early 90s when the grunge era started coming up. Didn't have kids quite yet. Jamie needs germination vibes for leprechaun seriosa. It's been 10 days in the Arrow Garden, still nothing. Oh, sending them your way. We want this one. Chris Cornell, what a voice he had, huh? What a voice he had. What a loss that was. Yeah, hi Jamie, I didn't even think of that. Soundgarden. Yeah, that is fitting. Kelly grew Black Hole Sun last year and loved it also. I think so, Kim. Better than Sun Gold. Well, I like Sun Gold. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing bad to say about Sun Gold. It's not my favorite cherry that I've ever grown. But some people it is. It's delicious. Don't get me wrong. I understand why so many companies are trying to come out with high open pollinated varieties that are as good as Sun Gold and all of that. They're delicious. But I've had better cherries, including Black Hole Sun. I don't know if there's a cross between Sun Gold and a dwarf. I don't know. The video of Black Hole Sun has people's faces that melt and warp. It's memorable. Sun Sugar Hybrid, Sunrise Bumblebee are sweeter than Sun Gold to me. I just wasn't impressed with Sun Gold. Okay, I'm not the only one. I wish Sun Sugar wasn't a hybrid. Yeah, Malachite Jen I think that's the one she really likes too. So that's Black Hole Sun. If you can get your hands on it, on seeds, it's definitely worth a grow. All right, this is one that I have not talked about, and I grew it last year. It looks like a big nothing burger as far as it looks like nothing. Boney M. Some sites call it Bonnie M, like Grafsamina, which is where I got the original seeds from, but it's in fact Boney M. It's named after a band, apparently, a musical group. It's a mini dwarf. Mine grew to be 24 inches tall in a 3-gallon grow bag. It looks pale. It looks like nothing. It's delicious. It's really delicious. Grew to be 24 inches tall, which is 60 centimeters. Definitely a mini dwarf, not a micro. The Grafsamina site calls it a micro. It's a mini dwarf. The round red fruits averaged about 1.5 ounces each and about 2 inches in diameter. So they were a good size. You could call it a very large cherry or just like a small globe tomato. Very prone to splitting. The first rain had them all split all over the place, but they're very tasty. Tangy, fresh, sweet, and fruity. Tastes like a summer indeterminate. Then in my own notes, I said I may try to grow in a 1-gallon grow bag to see what happens. Now, Grafsamina's site says the bush is only about 20 to 30 centimeters tall. That was not my experience, but plants can grow often to what kind of container they're in. So if it's in a 1-gallon container, maybe hers only got to be 20 to 30 centimeters. Mine did not. What else to say? Rich, sweet, and sour taste. Why did I not put my review up? Let's see what I put up. Boney M. I've seen this other vendors, but just keep it in mind if you're ordering from Grafsamina. It is in the micro dwarf section, but I would not consider it a micro dwarf. But I would consider it good. Oh, I rated it an 8. The bricks was 5. Rated an 8 out of 10. Pretty good. So that was worth a mention. Oh, that's who does that? I've been to a lot of weddings lately. They play that all the time. How cool. Hi, Martha. I got these seeds in a trade. Where did you get the information from? Because I couldn't find it online for Boney M. Grafsamina is where I purchased the seeds. Information I got from there. But what I just read you is my review, my personal review. But there are a couple other places that I found Boney M. I know when I was doing my original research for it. So now I'm singing Daddy Cool, going to Dream of Music tonight. I got seeds for this. My mom is Bonnie Marie. I'm trying to get seeds with all of my family names. Well, we'll call it Bonnie M just for your mom. How about that? It's a good one. If you're looking for a delicious mini dwarf, this was a good one. Boney M. I did not know that's who sang that song. Okay. This is one I have seeds for. Again, another one I'm not growing this year. You can find seeds for this one at Tomato Eden right now. Crimson Stripes of Mordovia. So Zagalin, who I've been talking about a lot, he's a very talented breeder from Russia. He's got so many new ones that have come out. I would venture to say most of them have the name Mordovia or Mordovian in the name. There's a whole bunch I haven't even logged yet. Crimson Stripes, Crimson Gold of Mordovia. I'm growing Mordovian Malachite. I'm growing this year that a vendor friend gave me. They're not for sale yet. I feel like I'm growing at least one more. Cinderella Orange is one of Zagalin's new ones. Green Rhapsody is another one of his that I'm growing this year that will be available for sale in the fall. But this one, it's not on my grow list this year. I was just logging it today, and I'm like, I've got to showcase this one because it's gorgeous. Hang on, let me get rid of my spreadsheet. Crimson Stripes of Mordovia. It's an F4, so chances are none of you have grown it yet, but if you have, let us know. Thank you so much. It was labeled Bonnie Bonnie M. Yeah, I think these things happen in translation. Obviously, we all try really, really hard. Achille, I replanted Victoria Salute. I have two. Guess who else has two after killing two? Me. Jen, I didn't know she gave me two plants. I don't think Jen's here today. She gave me two plants. So now I'm going to be able to grow it, and I'm going to hang on to that other one just in case. But thank you, Jen. Somehow she's one of the lucky ones. Crimson Stripes of Mordovia, new selection, possible splitting because it's only an F4. And when I say possible splitting, this is the language that is used by breeders and vendors to say that not completely stable yet. So what you see in the photo may not be what you get. That happens a lot with a lot of the varieties out nowadays that are released in, early days, F4, F5, F6, Jarsons all over the place, Kazula's all over the place. Honestly, I find it really fun. Indeterminate gets to be about 2 meters and higher. Optimal formation and 2 stems. This is from Zagalan directly from his site. Mid-season, very productive. Fruits are beautiful, heart-shaped, smooth, with green and golden stripes and strokes on a raspberry pink background. Fruit weight 200 to 300 grams, so less than a pound. Pulp on the cut is very beautiful with raspberry red streaks, tender and tasty. Looks gorgeous, right? Hi, Hector. Glad you could join us. So maybe this will make my list for next year. It's tough. My friend Lydia gave me an envelope of like 30 of Zagalan's new stuff. I feel so. This is why things fall off my grow list, because I get things like that and I'm like, but I am not growing this year. Maybe next year. There's a lot of great looking Mordovian varieties from him. He's very talented. There's so many exciting new breeders coming up. It's just hard to choose. Okay. Speaking of Jen giving me plants, this is a plant she gave me that I don't know how I'm going to find room for it, but it's called Swisher Sweet. If I can't grow it, I have a friend, my friend with the farm who likes reds. I may give it to her. But this is one of the varieties. When Jen and I did a joint unboxing from Old South Seeds a couple months ago, so you can find it. And we talked about it on there. And we got into this whole thing with all you guys about Swisher Sweets. It's like a tiny little brown cigarette thing that has a sweet aftertaste, I think. Now, Old South Seeds calls it Swisher Sweets, which is the name of the cigarette. Everything else I find on the internet just calls it Swisher Sweet. So since there's more of that than Old South Seeds, I'm calling it Swisher Sweet, but it might be the other one. Thanks, Sam. Blaine Hortons. Huge pink mouth-watering beefsteak tomatoes. This is the perfect sandwich tomato. Many were over a pound of sweet perfection, very productive, regular leaf indeterminate, mid to late season. My perfect pink, says Mark at Old South and Carol from Old South Seeds. Tall, mid-early, large-fruited variety. Fruits are flat, round, raspberry colored with lush shoulders, slight ribbing, weighing 350 to 600 grams. These things get big, very big. The photos on the right and the left are from Old South Seeds. They're on a break on Etsy right now, but I'm sure they'll be back soon. And then the one in the center came from mrpomidor.ru in Russia. Charles Swisher received seeds of this variety from his friend, H. Peprin from Versailles, Ohio, who grew this tomato for 80 years. So I'm not sure about the Blaine Horton thing, Sam, but that's why I didn't put the name on there. Could be, but H. Pepperum says he's grown it for 80 years, so I'm not sure about that. Anybody grown this one? Kim's growing it this year. Nice. Jen gave me this gorgeous, very healthy plant. I just had such a busy couple of days and busy weekend and all of that. I'm just getting into her plant. She gave me a ton of peppers, and she was supposed to give me 2 tomatoes, Victoria Salute and Twilight Tricolor, and this one's in there. And I'm like, oh, it looks really, really good. You can always find room with grow bags, right? Hector's growing Swisher Sweets. Nicole, I smoked those darn Swisher Sweets in college. So glad I quit smoking all the things in 2019. I stopped smoking years ago. Also, thank God. I stopped a lot of things back then too. Not smoking things, but I share very openly that I'm in recovery, and in just about a month, I will have 12 years of sobriety from alcohol. Long story, but you guys probably know it already. Anyway, I remember smoking Swisher Sweets, and they're disgusting. Like the cigars. Yeah, what do they call them? Little like mini cigarellos or something like that. And it does look like the perfect for tomato sandwiches. So 12 years is awesome. Thanks. I'm pretty proud. My drinking career didn't last very long, but it did get very, very bad. And I'm very grateful for every minute of this life that I get to live. And honestly, we've been growing tomatoes during my drinking, before drink, and we've been growing for a long time. And today they bring me so much joy. They've always brought me joy. And we may have missed a year or two in there when I was super sick. I was using it as my pain management, and that is not smart. Ooh, hang on. We've got some good stuff here. Sasha, 4 years, no cigarettes in July. Yay! I will tell you, stopping smoking was harder for me than stopping drinking. I can't even believe I did it. Such so self-destructive. Not that there's anything wrong with anybody who smokes, but I'm really glad for me. That was a monkey on my back that I did not need. I smoked cigarettes for 26 years. So glad I quit. I guess I switched to red wine. You know what? You without the red wine in your garden, it just wouldn't be the same. And clearly you don't have an issue like I did. Thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that. Yes, Haley, they were cigarillos, right? I was at 1 to 1.5 packs a day. Kim, 7 years, no cigarettes for me. Nice. You know, the guys, I don't know, the guys used to smoke them. Wow, look at all these people that stopped smoking. This is great. Yay, this month, 3 years, no cigarettes. This is fantastic. Oh, yeah, red wine's a reasonable switch. I can't do that. It's not a good switch for me, but for most normal people, normal drinkers, it's a good. Plus, I love watching you like with your glass of wine in the garden and talking. It's so cute. Hey, River Rock Farm quit smoking in 1991. Excellent. Good for you. My vice is food. Refuse to give up tomatoes. I'm not giving up tomatoes. Thank you, Francis. Honestly, I live with some people. Some doctors say MS, some say lupus. Very similar stuff, very similar treatment. And often you read, you want to stay away from nightshade vegetables, which is tomatoes, eggplant, peppers. Over my dead body. No freaking way am I giving up tomatoes. And honestly, I don't notice. Plant-based diet definitely helps me with inflammation, but I haven't noticed that I go into flares with tomatoes. God only knows we eat a lot of tomatoes and sample a lot of tomatoes. 22 years for you, Rach. That's great. Heidi says, I quit smoking, drinking, and caffeine all in the same 2-week period 25 years ago. Wow, good for you. And when did you go vegan, Heidi? I've gone on and off for like 30 years, but this last stretch has been about 5. Most definitely I'm missing part of the conversation. My vice is food too, Francis. Thanks, Quincy. I'm really proud of it. I used to be embarrassed by it when I first got sober, and so I didn't talk about it with anybody other than my inner circle. And now I feel like it just adds to the stigma, not talking about it. I want to show everybody that can happen to anybody. It really is a disease. It's the disease of more. And, maybe I can help somebody who may be struggling themselves that, it can be done. It seemed undoable, but it can be done. And it's a wonderful life. You just immerse yourself in the disease of more with other things like tomatoes. Same. I'm supposed to stay away from nightshades, but I will never stop eating tomatoes. Same. Oh, that's another one. The only nightshade I believe causes problems is potatoes. We eat a lot of potatoes. We grow our own potatoes too. I follow a particular diet ish called the Starch Solution by Dr. John McDougall. He swears by potatoes. And I haven't noticed any flares with that either. The only thing I notice with flares for me is stress. But a lot of people see with the weather and what they eat. Well, I shouldn't say that. What I eat, obviously, I went plant based for a reason. It helps with the inflammation. But yeah, it's that helps. But as far as particular foods, gluten is fine with me, thankfully. And potatoes are as well. Oh, thanks, Jamie. Well, thank you for what you're going into. Um, I love that you're so open. Big hugs, friend. What you are doing, what you are studying to do is so needed. I know you know this. I honor you very, very much. I'm going to cry. It's such a scary thing. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, but I'm so lucky that I had the support of Rob and the kids, and they're so proud of me. And yeah, it's a great life. It's a really great life. So thank you for what you're doing. Man, I really freaking love potatoes. Me too. Especially, we didn't start growing potatoes until a few years ago. And I'm like, and other tomato people who aren't like us probably think this too, like a tomato's a tomato. I kind of thought the same thing. A potato's a potato. Yeah, you've got your purple ones and you've got your golden and you've got your, red potatoes, but in all they taste the same. Not when you grow them fresh, they don't. Oh my God, are they so sweet? And we eat them a lot. We eat them a real lot. And growing them, I don't like to eat them in the off season when we run out because they're just, we do, but they're just not the same. But we get our seed potatoes from Wood Prairie Farm in Maine. They've got some great varieties. Kenneth, you've almost forgot again. We've been working in the garden. Forgot all about this. Sorry. No problem. Glad you're here now. You have RA too, but will not be giving up my maters. Yeah, RA, lupus, they all have very, very similar characteristics. Okay, let's get back onto tomatoes. All right, I mentioned earlier that I was going to talk about another one from Common Sense Seeds. This one's called Ixtapec Highlands, and this is a landrace tomato. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about landrace in a minute. I mentioned it, landrace, many, many times, and I'm not sure if I've ever really explained what a landrace is. For those of you that may not know, I'm sure many of you know, but just in case. So this is an interesting looking tomato. And again, commonsenseseeds.ca. It's a landrace from Mexico. And you can see all the tomatoes there. They're slightly different in shape. So Ixtapec, Common Sense Seed says this is a fantastic tomato. Hang on, let me put the link to them up again. commonsenseseeds.ca. Believe me, and you can watch the unboxing video I did on my YouTube channel, Mr. and Mrs. Tomato Head. I did an unboxing for them a few months ago. They've got, I wonder if I have any, oh yeah, things I haven't logged yet. This is what their seed packaging looks like. Lots of info. They've got some really great and unique varieties, and they're very nice people. I told them that I was going to be talking about, on the Instagram, I told her I was going to be talking about the Santa Catalina today, and she was very grateful and said, thanks for supporting their very small seed shop. Well, if they're a very small seed shop, they do a great job. All right, let's get back to Ixtapec Highlands. They say it's a fantastic tomato, a standout in our garden for its beauty and unique taste. The term flavor burst describes the sweet then spicy flavor. It is unlike any other tomato we have tried. It comes from southern Mexico, and its unique taste and highly scalloped shape suggests it's a very old tomato. Our seed stock comes from Seed Savers Exchange. When we inquired about its history, they suggested we reach out to the Seed Savers Exchange, to the Seed Saver Exchange member who donated the seeds to the exchange. So we did. We chatted with George McLaughlin in Oklahoma, and he was able to tell us that he had collected the seed while living in Mexico in the early 1990s. George was always on the lookout for local indigenous tomatoes to save seed from and then share with the SSE, Seed Savers Exchange. It was collected from a market in the small Zapotec. I would have gotten it eventually, Zapotec city of Ixtapec, In southern Oaxaca, Zapotec people have been cultivating vegetables in this area for more than 5,000 years. It's a beautiful, highly fluted pink tomato with peach shoulders, with fruits ranging in size from 28 to 48 grams or 1 to 2 ounces. Grows to be only about 3 to 4 feet tall, so it will need a stake early and then continues producing all summer. A truly excellent tomato. Has anybody grown this before? I don't know when this one came out. Common sense ain't that common anymore. I'm not sure what you mean. You mean common sense seeds? It does do well in the heat. It does, as do a lot of the landrace tomatoes. What do they mean by spicy? Spicy like a pepper? No, it's one of those adjectives that some people use with certain tomatoes. I consider it like a sharp flavor. Intense sharp flavor can be considered spicy. If you're just joining, we have 103 live viewers right now. I'll be giving away 2 seed prize packages at the end. Make sure, if you haven't already done so, type in hashtag tomato. And thanks for joining us. If it's your first time watching, hashtag tomato. Okay. So what is a land race? And it's not just tomatoes. There are land race, all kinds of vegetables. Joseph Lofthouse is a breeder who's known for growing landrace tomatoes. His name is mentioned a lot in landrace tomatoes. What it means is basically, let me try to put it in layman's terms. So, a lot of us, when we're sharing seeds, we try to bag blooms to make sure that the variety and the seeds we're saving are true to type. A landrace tomato is often several different varieties that are planted next to each other or near each other, and they eventually, after much selection, will grow accustomed to that environment. So a lot of landrace tomatoes are actually good in really dry, arid climates. Ixtapec Highlands is one of them. Let me see. I wrote down some notes here. A lot of genetic diversity. The phenotypes, which phenotype means all the things you can experience. So the look of it, the color, the taste, the size and shapes and growth habits, those are all the phenotypes. And they have a wide array of those things. And they can be all over the map. What is consistent with the plant members of a landrace is their ability to thrive in the bioregion it was bred in. And then I found this: for thousands of years, subsistence farmers farmed with land races that were selected to yield well in that area. And it doesn't mean that it will only grow well in that area, by the way. But a lot of people, if you live in dry, arid climates, you may want to look into some land races. And Joseph Lofthouse, he sells a lot of his stuff on Experimental Farm Network also. Thousands of years, the farmers farmed with land races that were selected to yield well in that area under a variety of conditions, where a modern variety may be selected for specific shapes. You know how breeders are nowadays. We want this shape, we want this color, we want this flavor. These are kind of thrown together, like, go at it and give us tomatoes that are going to perform well and give us the best taste. Obviously, for these farmers, they want the highest yield. So they're really exciting, and you don't always know what you're going to get. Has anybody grown any landrace tomatoes? Is it too humid? Good question. Well, I mean, this one comes from Mexico, so it depends on how far south we're talking. But in dry, arid climates, if you have droughts, if you're out west in like the desert, it would do well. Humidity, I'm not really sure. You would have to check. I mean, all land races are different, so you'd have to check the write-up for that one. This one doesn't say anything about humidity. And then this mentioned Joseph Lofthouse. So just in case you didn't know what land races were, that's what that was. And so this one is exciting too, Ixtapec Highlands. And I'm adding that to my 2026 grow list too. Okay, mucha miel from Spain. It's a traditional Spanish beefsteak tomato with a name meaning much honey. The plants are very high yielding. Has anybody grown this one? Plants are very high yielding, disease resistant. They develop very firm, very large, up to 1,000 grams. That's over 2 pounds. Fleshy and juicy fruits. The tomatoes are slightly ribbed and when ripe can also have green streaks or a green back. While externally they are not especially beautiful, their flavor has it all. They are intensely flavorful with a balanced sweetness and sourness and a fruity note. In southern Spain, they are enjoyed sliced with some sea salt and olive oil, like the Spanish olive oil you gave me, Kim Pierce. Thank you. Tomato faifu adds a little bit more. They say it's from the coastal region of Valencia and Alicante. Featured in the Seed Savers Yearbook of 1988. Red fruit with yellowish shoulders. Now theirs are saying it's much. They have these pictures of these large tomatoes, and they're saying theirs were around 250 grams. Juicy flesh, excellent flavor. The first information came from where? First information came from Bee Seeds, BEE. Juicy flesh, excellent flavor, very well balanced, sweet and mild. Versatile variety. Due to its origins, it is best suited to a warm, dry climate. Neat looking. Sherman's growing it. You'll have to let us know how it is. Drew, hey, tomato heads, I've been listening while gardening. FYI, I finally got some cilantro to germinate with a heat mat. Yay, I had waited 3 weeks. Now to get those peppers going, tomatoes are growing. Do you know, cilantro is such a pain in the butt. I mean, it is. I'm sure we can all agree. I have a deck planter that I had planted cilantro in last year, and I got a plant or two. I didn't plant any yet this year, and I've got cilantro coming out of my ears. It came back from last year, but I swear when I try to grow it, it does not grow that well. And I've got some in my compost pile coming up, so I guess I don't need to grow cilantro or plant cilantro this year. What a pain in the neck. But congratulations, you got germination. Raminta, got the seeds, putting it on my next year's grow list. Warm and dry, I got to grow this, says Jamie. Yeah, it looks beautiful, doesn't it? Sherman, you'll have to let us know how it is. Okay, I've got two more. One last one I want to talk about. This is the one that Kina sent me seeds for. And then I actually have a most wanted, which I don't do every week. I haven't done it in a while, I don't think. All right, this next one, Poltava Galushka. It translates to Poltava dumplings. It's a variety from Russia. Look how pretty these are. And these are a mini dwarf. I think it's a commercial variety from Russia. Early maturing, high yielding variety for open ground. Bush is strong, only gets to be 30 to 40 centimeters high, which 12 to 16 inches. So kind of bordering on micro mini. I just dropped seeds for these yesterday. Fruit ripening occurs 90 to 95 days after full germination. There are 5 to 7 fruits in a bunch. It's a lot of fruit on a small plant. The fruits are heart-shaped, slightly ribbed, orange in color, weighing 120 to 160 grams. Taste is very high. Flesh is juicy, sweet, and aromatic. They have a high content of beta-carotene, not surprising from the looks of it, intended for fresh consumption and for processing into tomato products resistant to diseases. Anybody grown this one before? Poltava Galushka? Oh, is it from Ukraine? My bad. My bad. Thanks, Kina. I love orange tomatoes. These look great. The interior kind of looks like Juan Flem, or however it's pronounced. All right, so I don't know where I saw Russia, but I trust you if you say I'm wrong. Looks great. Thank you, Kina, for these seeds. That you gave them to me a while ago. I'm not sure why I haven't started them until now, but I came across them yesterday. I'm going through my micro mini seed binder. I'm like, I can totally start these now. They look great. Have you grown it, Kina? All right. And then the last one, my most wanted, I came across, it's been on my wish list for forever, but for some reason, I don't think I put it on my Seed Seeking Saturday post. If you're not in the group, we have lots of posts where you can seek seeds that you're looking for. I think it loses out to some more interesting things, but I don't know why I haven't put it on there. I know they're not super easy to find, but they should be easy enough. Jake's red cherry. My son is Jake, and we're already growing Jake's Old German this year, thanks to my friend James Maxwell, who sent me the seeds. But I don't have seeds for Jake's red cherry, and it sounds quite good. Incredibly productive grape tomato variety, a bit larger than small cherries. They reach the size of a ping pong ball. Fruits contain a lot of juice. It's an ideal thirst quencher on hot summer days. Moreover, they are perfect for preserves. There can be hundreds of these wonderful fruits on one bush. Anybody grown Jake's red cherry? Oh, I forgot to sow that too, Deanna. Cilantro grows in the heat all summer. Same flavor profile as cilantro. You gave me seeds, and I totally forgot. Good night, Kina. Glad you were here for the Poltava dumplings. Thank you again for those seeds. You're waiting on Jake's red cherry to germinate? You'll have to let me know how it is. I would love to do a trade with you at the end of the season. We'll have to put on Seed Seeking Saturday this week for sure. It sounds great. I'm not growing all that many cherries, but maybe for next year I can grow this one. I know there's a Jake's Seeds, I think, is the originator of these. But this photo came from pomidorlandia.pl from Poland. So that is it, gang. Hope you all got in your hashtag tomato, and we'll give away. Here's what I'm giving away today. This is for two people. Ixtapec Highlands, that's the landrace tomato. Black Hole Sun, Boney M, Mucha Miel, and from Teresa Begin, Canadian Heritage, which I really should have given out last week too and forgot I had. So for two people. So let's do this thing. Okay. Message me or email me. We'll try to get these out next week. This is my email address. Private messaging is better. I don't check my email as often as I should. Annette Burke. Congratulations, Annette. Oh, what happened? All right, it's freaking out on me. Annette Burke was the winner. We'll do this again. That was winner one. I don't know why it's doing this. Tell me it's not acting up again. All right, next one. Come on. Things painfully slow. Christy Sessions. Congratulations, Christy. So if you guys can private message me, please. I'm sure I have both of your addresses, but just in case. And that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you next week. I might do Tuesday. I might do garden tour Tuesday, or at least, I mean, there won't be anything planted in the in-ground, I don't think, because we're away again this weekend. But I've got stuff to show you guys. So I might do Tuesday, but definitely next Thursday. And I will see you next week. Thank you all for being a part of this. If you're watching the recording, you're just as important as those who are here live. Thank you again to those who were able to come out on Friday for our second annual meetup. And I hope you can all join us on September 26th for our tomato tasting and seed swap. Same place, Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And I will see you next time, everybody. Let's do some dancing and sign off. Peace, love, get your gratitude on, and go grow tomatoes. Bye, everybody.